Hey y'all, welcome back to Tater's Garden. We're taking a minute today, maybe before it starts raining here, to get the mower deck off this old Cub so I can get the cultivators on it to get the truck patch up on top of the hill worked up before we get it planted with okra and sunflowers. Now, these old tractors have really helped me out here on the homestead, in my opinion. When we first started, which was back in 2010, we got the BCS, and I did a video on it not too long ago, and we thought that we would be able to make it just with that one walking tractor with the tiller box. It had a cutter bar that we had, and within a couple of years I found out that I was really going to be beating myself up to try and manage 10 acres with that walking tractor. So I had visited somebody else who'd been farming a whole lot longer than I ever had, and he basically said, you need to get an old cultivating tractor. And I didn't have any idea what that even meant. But apparently, after World War II, our country was switching from horse agriculture to tractor agriculture. And these little bitty tractors like this one, and there's several different variants on models, etc., like that. But they became readily available. And of course, in the 50s, they built stuff to last. And so here we are 70 years later, and these tractors are still running. This yellow one is a 1977, and that model of the Farmall Cub has a little more power. But the other two Farmall Cubs that I have, one's a 57, the other's a 48, and they were built to replace. They had the power of basically a team of 4 horses. Well, they're 8 horsepower tractors, but anyway, that's how they built them when they were marketing them. They said they would replace 4 horses. And so they were wildly successful at that time, of course, and they're still running today. So somebody told me, hey, you should really strongly consider getting one of these old tractors for your cultivation. And so initially I got one to help me mow all the different pastures, because I was just getting beat up mowing. I think we were mowing at that time 6 acres of pasture, and just tearing me up with this cutter bar walking behind that thing. So that was a pretty easy sell. So we got the 57, and it had this mower on it, and that's all we were. The intention was just to mow with the thing. And so for 2 years, that's all we did with the tractor was keep the pastures in check. Now, as time went on, I talked to more people that knew more specifically about this model of tractor, the Farmall Cub, and they were using them for all kinds of stuff, particularly in their gardens. And the guy that originally said, hey man, you got to get a tractor, he had said, if you're farming more, in his opinion, if you're farming more than a half an acre, then having some sort of a cultivating tractor is a really good idea, because otherwise you're just going to beat yourself up. And at that time, I could definitely start to see the truth in that, because they were starting to beat me up. That ain't working. All right. So what ended up happening after that was I got a soil working implement that you could just pull behind the tractor called a disc harrow. And with that disc harrow, then I could incorporate my cover crops pretty efficiently in the spring and the fall. I could do some of my primary tillage. You know, that disc harrow would get down 4 inches deep pretty good in the dirt and get kind of everything worked up, and then I could just lay off my rows with the tiller. Not too bad. And then I got a really great deal on this 48 sitting up here. And the reason it was a great deal wasn't because the tractor was so awesome. It's a nice looking tractor, doesn't run that well. But it came with everything you could possibly want to hook up to one of these old tractors, to one of these Farmall Cubs for gardening. And that was really why I got the thing. And so now that I got the full kit, so to speak, I'm really trying to switch my management over from the more straining and difficult physical methods, but try and do everything with the tiller. Not that I couldn't do it, but I can't do it forever. You know, I'm not getting any younger, so that was a big reason to want to start looking at something different. So, like I said, I'm going to take the mower off of this one, get the cultivators on. I don't think we're going to get that done. It's starting to rain pretty good. But then we'll get to work up top there with it, if it'll dry off a little bit. We've been getting so much rain, it seems like we'll get 2 days of rain, they'll stop for 2 days. 2 days of rain, stop for 2 days. So it's getting challenging to get the soil preparation work done without turning everything into mud. And I have been lucky enough to be able to do some of my transplanting, because I can just get away with digging a hole, and I don't have to. It's not like direct seeding where you have to get it nice and tilled and furrow and get your seed in there and all that kind of stuff. But that is exactly what I want to do up top there with my sunflowers and my okra. So we're waiting now kind of with the weather, but I need to get the tractor set up so that it can do the job too. Alright, let's go all the way out. But otherwise, we had a great market on Saturday up in Knoxville, and we got to take some tomatoes, which is great because it's not quite the end of May yet, and I always try to get tomatoes to market before the end of May. And we had some cucumbers and a few yellow squash, and apparently there weren't a whole lot of cucumbers at that market. People got pretty excited about that. It's always kind of fun to be first with something. People light up when they see that. There's one lady. We give out $2 bills as change at our market stand, and it's just a gimmick to make people remember, you know, oh wow, we got a $2 bill at the farmer's market. But this woman came up and she got the cucumbers and she got the squash and she got the tomatoes, and she was all excited, and she started telling this story about her grandparents and how they always took those 3 things to market first at the farmer's market. And then I handed her that $2 bill as change, and she started to tear up because she said they used to hand out $2 bills as change too. And anyway, I don't know. I hope I made her day. That was certainly, that's our intention with the $2 bills more than anything. I don't know if you can tell how much I'm getting rained on, but I'm getting rained on right now. So anyway, y'all take care. We'll see you soon, and hopefully we'll have some cultivators on this tractor then. See ya.